everyone, and welcome to Happening Now with me, Tim. We started this week by addressing the sad news that came out of San Jose, where 9 people were killed in a shooting that took place at a transit center facility. The shooting was yet another heartbreaking mass shooting that happened this year. In fact, the Associated Press reported that this was the 15th mass killing in the nation this year, and that all of them were shootings that have claimed a total of 87 lives. President Biden has called on Congress to take action for gun control. Something that we sadly feel as if isn't going to happen because we know that there are some people in both those chambers that are willing to give your lives to line their pockets. But we can always hope for change. Moving on. It was reported earlier this week that the Manhattan District Attorney has gathered a special grand jury to look over whether or not to indict former President Donald Trump and or the Trump Organization on civil and or criminal charges. And although this is a big move, I wouldn't get too excited about anything just yet because this process is probably going to take months to get through. We can, however, breathe some sigh of relief as he hopefully won't have friends on this jury or any other jury that will look at the probably mountain of evidence and go like, well, this could reflect on me poorly, so innocent. Speaking of, Republicans seems to have put themselves in quite a difficult place as of late. Late being the last 10 to 30 years. Because they are having to do a very fine balancing act between not saying shit that's so fucked up they could lose votes, but also not saying shit that's so fucked up they could lose votes. Let it be known that they alone have put themselves in between a rock and a hard place when it comes to the ideology of the party. Because either they have to say stuff like the bipartisan created January 6th Commission is fine, and they're gonna lose all their Trumper votes, which makes up over half of Republicans today, or they have to come out against it, which will probably result in them losing the votes of anybody that's moderate or even slightly leans right. But here's the thing. When you make your party's ideology so hardline, and then the public opinion starts to shift or evolve, that's what's gonna happen. They didn't really cultivate a party that allows for any sort of political wiggle room when it comes to their talking points and are eventually going to need to do a complete overhaul on their whole party. Now, that being said, they might get a few seats back in the short term, absolutely. But as time keeps moving forward, if they don't change, as we saw from the last presidential election, they're going to lose all of their political power, and a new conservative party will more than likely take their place. And really fast, I just want to point out, I know that sometimes it feels like over the first 12 episodes of this show, it really seems like all I do is lay into Republicans, and I never really lay into Democrats. But I just need to point this out. When your party's biggest issue is trying to figure out if you should come down hard on somebody for comparing wearing a mask to the genocide of millions upon millions of people, I'm gonna fucking struggle to find something positive to say. And now for a Tim Time break. Finally, for our last topic, let's talk more about how much Republicans, I'm totally joking. In a change of pace, I'm actually going to lay into Democrats for a second for their breathtaking ability to fuck up everything they've built as we take another look at the filibuster. Which, you know, should have just been the name of a sandwich that you avoided on an Applebee's menu, but instead is the reason that most things in this country continue to suck. After one of my best buds, Mitch I Don't Like Anything McConnell, came out against the January 6th Commission, one of 2 Democratic senators that opposes getting rid of the filibuster. Shoot, I never really learned how to say his name. But it looks like Manchin, so I'm just gonna go with that. Manchin said that Mitch was playing politics, saying, quote, "There's no excuse for Republicans to vote against this bill." But then went on to say, you know, like, even if they do, it's not going to warrant him flipping his position on the filibuster. So, like, If obstructing justice isn't good enough for the manliest of chins to flip his position, what would be? Which for me would honestly take like a donut and... Nope, just a donut. But, you know, I'm also the host of a comedy news show that nobody watches, and he's a United States Senator, so... And honestly, I still don't fully understand his take. He claims that it's the last line of defense, but that's bullshit. First, there's a whole other half of Congress called the House of Representatives that the bill has to pass through as well. And then, after that, it has to go to the president, who then has to sign it into law. And then even after that, states can make the call for themselves unless it's explicitly stated in the Constitution. And to ratify the Constitution, you need 3/4 of people in both the House and the Senate to agree that the changes need to happen. Otherwise, there's something called a court system that can figure out the rest. In a very painstakingly boring process that you'll read about and be like, I thought this got solved like 3 years ago. Are they still debating this? Yes, the answer is always yes. So the idea that this bozo thinks the filibuster is our last line of defense is simply silly. There are so many checks in our system that it becomes a beyond dumb hill to die on. And honestly, if Democrats can't get anything passed over the next year and a half, odds are voters are gonna go with somebody else that can maybe get something done for them instead of plain politics. And that's our show for this week. I hope you all have a great Memorial Day weekend. I know we're ending up the Mental Health Awareness Month, so if you can, just take some time out for yourself this weekend, even if it's just a few minutes. You deserve it. We all deserve it. I hope that I am able to live up to that as well. And otherwise, I will see you all next week. Peace.